1045 The Team and 1045theteam.com. Tom Gozlowski here with you. And joining us on the phone lines, he is a former Olympic gold medalist. He won that Olympic gold medal at the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. He's also a former WWE champion. In this spring, he will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Kurt Angle joins us. And Kurt, what was it like getting that phone call and finding out you were going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame later this spring?
Oh, I was surprised. I didn't know what was going to happen this early on in my life. So I was really surprised that Triple H called me out of the blue and said, "Hey, we want to induct you in the Hall of Fame this year." And I wasn't sure if I was going to retire from wrestling, and I still am not sure. So it was cool. It's the one Hall of Fame that I haven't been inducted in amateur or pro wrestling. So this is a huge honor for me. This kind of, puts the exclamation point on my career and what I've been able to do as an amateur and pro wrestler.
What was your relationship like with Triple H before you had gotten that call?
We were good. I mean, we didn't talk much. I left the company in 2006, so it was a mutual departing. I went my way, they went theirs, but there weren't any hard feelings. So I did reach out to them about a year ago, and I said I wanted to do something with them, and they said, "Well, we're interested, but we don't know what we want to do yet." And then a year later, they called me for the Hall of Fame. So people asked me if I'm going to continue to wrestle or if I'm going to wrestle for WWE. They haven't said anything about that. They want to focus on the Hall of Fame first, and then go from there.
Joining us now on the phone lines, he's an Olympic gold medalist, the former WWE champion, and is soon to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Kurt Angle joining us. And Kurt, we know now you're doing your best to combat the growing national epidemic of opiates and heroin epidemic. Tell us a little bit about your efforts and how we can help here in the Capital Region.
Well, I am an addict. I was on pills for 10 years, and it got so bad that I probably shouldn't be here. That's how bad it got. And I noticed when I went to rehab that nobody wants to talk about it. When they get out, they're told to keep quiet, especially celebrities. And it wasn't helping anybody. Just being quiet and not letting anybody know where you went to rehab, not letting anybody know you went to rehab, that you don't have a problem, that you're not an addict. So I decided to speak out because of the last 2 years, 2014 and 2015, almost 60,000 people have died from opioid overdoses. It's the worst epidemic in U.S. history. It's about firearm deaths and motor vehicle deaths. And I decided I was going to speak out and start my Angle Strong program. You can go to anglestrong.com. We have an app, the Angle Strong app, where it guides you through your recoveries, to keep you on recovery. And the cool thing about it is you check in daily. If you don't check in, your lifelines, which is your family or your loved ones or your sponsor, will be notified that you're not checking in. The app is also GPS enabled, so if you do relapse, we're going to find you. It's a really cool concept. It's a one of a kind. It's a whole program on anglestrong.com. You can sign up right there for the app, or you can go to Google Play Store for the Android. And next week, we will have it ready for the iOS, the iPhone, and the App Store.
Kurt, was there a moment where it was just, this is rock bottom for me, it's time finally now to get help?
Well, there was a lot of deaths in my family. My sister died of a heroin overdose. But I think the one that hit me the most was I was going to lose my marriage to my wife, Giovanna. I had 4 DUIs in 5 years. I started drinking alcohol with the pills, and it just got so bad that I didn't have a choice but to go to rehab. And when I went in there, I realized how bad my disease was. People don't want to call it a disease, but it is. It's a mental disorder. It's something that it's every bit of a disease as cancer, and there are a lot of people suffering. 21 million Americans have a drug disorder, and only 10% of them go to rehab. That's only 2 million, and of that 2 million, 5%, that's 100,000 people, stay in recovery. This is crazy. I mean, it's getting worse every single year, and there's nothing going on to help. The politicians are starting to talk about it, but we still haven't really done anything to turn this around. There are a lot of great groups out there, but they've been kept pretty quiet. The media hasn't really talked about them.
And Kurt Angle joining us now. Kurt, let's swing it back to something you discussed a bit early on in the interview. Maybe or maybe not you possibly wrestling again. If you look at the roster right now in the WWE, is there someone on that roster you think, man, I would love to get back in the ring to just go with this guy one time?
There are a lot of guys, and they have such a great roster right now. I wrestled the John Cena's and the Randy Ortons. I wouldn't mind going, Brock Lesnar's. I wouldn't mind going around with them again. But the young guys, the Rollins, the Reigns, Cesaro, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Dolph Ziggler, there are a lot of great talent. And the guy that I wrestled a bunch of times, AJ Styles, I just didn't wrestle him in WWE. There are a lot of guys out there that I would love to get my hands on. And I think WWE has a lot of great, tremendous athletes right now. It's a lot different today than it was when I was there. But I really believe that there could be a lot of great matchups.
He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a former WWE champion. He will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this spring. Kurt Angle. Kurt, thank you so much for the time. And again, congratulations on the honor.